for the continent, a defining moment for the game. Are you guys ready?
It definitely plays with your emotions.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how many close calls happened.
Where I even began.
They could close this out and claim glory, African glory on Call of Duty Mobile.
I heard about Carry1st hosting this event and I was like, nah, I have to take part.
Winning means everything for us. We're not just here to represent NXG, but our country, South Africa. And this is the biggest tournament this continent's ever seen, so winning does mean everything to us.
In Nigeria, they'll say no grief for anybody. So
That's Call of Duty for you, I guess, and let's call.
Losing tournaments like this it can be very, very emotional. You have to have strong real force and everything just to break down or anything, because if you want to start thinking about the hours put into it, the whole stress, everything just to come and lose is crazy.
we can't really see who's the best until we see it at the final.
Our team is the stronger.
That brawl kind of lost everyone. Vortex gun coming into play from life to clean house.
Personally, we feel like we have the best gun skills in the game, and our playstyle is, very unique.
We want to settle the jollof wars. Which jollof is better, Nigerian or the Ghanaians? Whoever always gets the jollof bragging rights.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Carry1st African Championship South African Finals at AGC. My name is Trout, I talk a lot, and this is Tiano. He's the one to fill the gaps, and the living legend himself, he's going to be here walking us through a fantastic game. We have the grand finals up for grabs. Who are we playing? Who are we watching?
Trout, thank you for the lovely introduction. It was full of energy, full of hype, but that's what we are here for. We are here to bring you that hype and energy, that insights. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have the South African Grand Finals. The team that will win today will obviously qualify for essentially their road to Lagos, where they will verse 7 other countries. But today, we've got, as we can see quickly on the road to Lagos, the teams that have qualified, but coming from a South African side, we've got Paradox Gaming taking on NATO Gaming, 2 of the heavyweights in the South African Call of Duty mobile scene, Trout.
Yeah, so you'd say this is a bit of a battle of the titans, if you will. And yeah, so it's going to be a good time. Here we go, Paradox. These are the people to watch. If anyone is wondering, they are on the right-hand side of the stage, so you can give them a good old cheer if you'd like. But we have Simsi, Logan, Daniel, wow, sorry guys, Germ and Muji. Absolute
What's happening, folks? We're here at AGC, and now we're joined by the second team that is going to be joined.
Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the spectrum, we've got NATO Gaming. Familiar faces in the scene if you're unaware. We've got Knock starting on the left-hand side, Venix, Liquids, one of the best snipers, arguably in South Africa. Rai, currently color-coded out there, incognito he is, and one of the best SMG players in South Africa, Nandi.
Man, it's going to be a banger, but we have a quick little insert if you want to learn a little bit more about the two teams.
What's happening, folks? We are here at AGC, and right now I'm joined by the team Paradox, one half of the finalists for the Call of Duty Mobile Qualifier. Guys, how are we doing today? And also, what is your name, by the way?
So I'm Danilo. I'm doing quite great. I'm doing really well. My name is Rain, but in-game name is Toxic.
What went through your head when you heard the fact that you get to travel to compete for Call of Duty Mobile?
I think for, well, most of it, like me especially, when I heard that, I was first of all shocked because we've never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
But I was also excited because like that can be me on that stage.
It's a nice feeling to know that you can travel, enjoying something you love, and play in that game that you once thought that, oh, maybe I won't get somewhere worth it, and you won't travel anything. Once you get to see, okay, yes, I can go now, you know, represent South Africa at Nigeria.
The blood is pumping.
It's like the adrenaline is there, and it's really good. It's really good.
Like also just another thing, like when you explain to other people that this game that started off as a hobby or just like a pastime is now taking you to all these different countries and bringing you to like such bringing you to such a high stage. It's amazing, really. People always have funny reactions to it.
Talk me through how it feels to put in work hours on end with your team and finally see this happen for you guys.
I won't lie, when we first saw that Africa finally got a slot at the World Championships, we were all busy calling each other, screaming on call, so excited. Like, just to finally have the chance to be recognized in the scene, have this opportunity to show that we're one of the best, show that we can be great, show that our hobby isn't just a hobby. I think it's very exciting. I'm pumped.
Personally, I've been playing and I've been like always watching the stage like since 2022. And like, it's been very long and I'm like, wait, we actually got our slot now. Africa got the slot. So we have our chance now. So now me as a player, it like enlightened me to do better, become better, and prove myself and my team more, you know? Because with them you can't do nothing really. It's not a one-man army.
This coming weekend, you have your finals. How are you feeling going into the final against NATO? Has there been anything that's maybe surprised you about their gameplay, and do you feel like you guys are ready as a team going into that grand final?
We're feeling quite confident. We're going to put, like, they may be our friends outside, but once we're on that stage, I'm sorry, NATO.
We're going to give it our best, and we'll give it a good show. All I'm going to say, we're going to dominate.
What's happening, folks? We're here at AGC, and now we are joined by the second team that is going to be joined in the grand finals with Paradox. That's Team NATO, guys. But what are your names?
Name is Suhail Khan, and my IGN is known as Nark.
Okay.
I'm Sahal. My in-game is Vinex.
Now, have you guys felt any pressure coming into this LAN? Because not only is it just another LAN, not only is it just another Call of Duty mobile event, but this is a qualifier for you guys to potentially qualify to get yourselves to Lagos, Nigeria for another Call of Duty mobile qualifier for the World Championships. Did that play into your mental coming to the LAN?
Yes, it did actually, because I mean, most people do know that Paradox is one of the strongest teams there is around in the AF com scene, and then for us to be here, able to face them on the main stage is truly amazing. I would say for this final championship, it's actually truly amazing to be here. But facing all of this, it's kind of not scary. I wouldn't say scary. I would say I'm a bit nervous for this championship, as it's the first time that our team will be doing this. But then I'm truly looking forward to amazing gameplay from the team tomorrow, and hope to see you all tomorrow. I would say that my feeling towards this championship is actually quite intense compared to like how many other good teams there are, and we managed to get past them. Like, as our previous match was pretty hard, and then we get Paradox, which is even harder. So the amount of effort that our team did put in, I'm sure that we are prepared for tomorrow.
All right, everybody, now that you know a little bit more about the two teams, you can see them on stage and on your screen. These guys are locked in. I'm feeling locked in. And of course, to get it all the way, we need to talk about where we're playing, what the battlefield's going to look like. So we have the maps here for you guys, and man, oh man, is it a banger. But before we get into that, it's important to note that the winning seed, or the higher seed, is Paradox, so they do have a map count advantage, and it is a best of 7, so first to 4, and there you go, you can see the map count advantage there. But talk us through these maps, the fundamentals, what we're looking for, what we can expect.
Okay, so Trout and obviously everyone in the crowd and those at home watching on the stream, Paradox does have that map advantage. As you can see, it was a standoff hardpoint that got in their favor, obviously going into a 1-0 map advantage. Next up, we're going to be hopping into Slums, a traditional classic Call of Duty map. High-paced gameplay. We're going to see a lot of submachine gun gameplay, a lot of power positions, that has to be said. Trout moving then to our wonderful Tunisia. Feels like we're going on holiday when we hit up the streets of Tunisia. And then obviously ending on Control will be one of the favorites, one of the classic maps in Takeoff.
Man, you said ending. Maybe we go a little bit further, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, that's how it happens. You can see the two teams are locked in, like we said. And of course, none of this would be possible without the beautiful people over at Carry1st. And of course, the host, AGC. They have had a fantastic event. I do believe that this is going to be the last production, and we've got the pleasure of casting it and bringing it to you. But going into it, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. What do you think the prediction is going to be? What are you feeling? What are we got to look for? Who are the players to watch?
Players to watch. Okay, Trout's obviously coming from being a previous player. I've had the pleasure to participate with majority of the players on stage. Obviously, there's a couple of names that I'm not familiar with, but if we're taking a look from Paradox specifically, I mean, Simply Simpsy, as you can see on the broadcast there, he's one of these staples. He's one of the most highlighted and decorated South African players in the scene. Toxic as well. Muji, we played minor lands together, just well equipped in all of its entirety. Hopping over to the boys from NATO Gaming, we're going to give them some love as well, respectively. Nundi, like I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, one of the best submachine gun players to ever wield that weapon, it has been seen. But now, Trout, we're about to hop into the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is hard points on Slums. NATO Gaming taking on Paradox, baby. It is a South African grand final for the Carry1st Africa Cup.
Alright, got to kick off strong here as we go to the pandemonium known as P1, and it's going to be shots all around. 2 will fall already for the side of Paradox. Not the start that they want, so a good little bit of a snowball potentially getting developed here for the boys over at NATO. But having said that, time still slightly an advantage here for Paradox as the break comes back in and looking towards P2, because remember, P1 is sort of condolence points. If we get more than 30 seconds, we've done a good job.
Definitely Trout condolence points. It is a highly contested heal, it has to be said, with Statue. You know, players coming in from all avenues. You've got a lot of breaking points, a lot of avenues to watch. If your communication isn't good, you're going to have trouble. But once again, we do see now NATO Gaming not in the lead. It seems to be, it looks like the blue team is Paradox on your kill feed. They are 22 points ahead and counting. It has to be noted, it looks like Paradox are on rotation. We do have player 1 holding down the spawns of P2. A Predator missile comes in from Danilo, manages to pick up no players, but the kill feed at the moment is all Paradox.
That was a fantastic rotation. You hinted about the early rotations there from Paradox, and there was a huge 1v1 to win. So it was. Spawns now secured. The push is coming through down street, but this is exactly what you don't want if you're on the shoes of NATO's. You are just being funneled into the kill zone. And right now, we got smokes, and I love that there's smokes in this game, man. A good old additional barrier that you can put in. Hopefully a break coming through here. Spawns do flip on out. Miracle spawns are in. Good setup points still to be competed for here. And well, off the back of it, we get to see a couple of these specialists now. Danilo with 3!
Wow!
War Machine breaks on in, even though the spawn's flipped on out, now it's looking like a spawn trap.
Gee, spawn trap it was. Danilo just raining grenade missiles down on the team of NATO Gaming. Well done to you, youngster. Also another fantastic respawn play. It has to be noted, Trout, with only 15 seconds remaining on this P2 hardpoint. We don't see any of the players rotating to P3. It should have been noted already. We do see now player number 3 from NATO Gaming has spawned up, decides to take that anchor role, or essentially just playing inside of the hill. Tacticals being lobbed. Kobe, as we like to say in the CODM scene, straight to the hard point. Now player 3 from NATO Gaming has spawned behind. Will he be able to make it enough with his flank?
Oh, turned on 180. We'll catch you in the next live. But right now, it was looking like some god spawns came through for NATO, but unable to capitalize off of it. Having said that, there was another that spawned around the back, but bathroom now cleared on out. A lot of specialists, a lot of utility being thrown here on this hill, but you can see it is absolutely paying off for Paradox. So they are holding strong here. Doesn't matter if the split spawns are in, doesn't matter if the back spawns are in. If it moves, it dies. Paradox on a burner, currently 60 points up.
60 point up, and it's only counting. Trout, we do see, if we're looking at the statistics on either end, some of the boys from NATO are struggling in the kill department. Danilo leading the lobby with 21 kills, essentially 3 times the amount of Nundi. The man is struggling, Trout. We heard earlier from the player's own perspective and statements, they are playing on LAN. There's so much difference. We've got the atmosphere from the crowd. They're not lying in their beds as most of these players do, playing in the comfort of their own home. They're on the main stage, the lights, the cameras, the action, the crowds. We need to hear more hype from the crowds, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolute stellar game. P4 right now, Trout, is being loaded inside that little garage, and it is all Paradox Gaming at the moment.
Paradox plays for the break or Paradox plays for the rotation. It doesn't matter. And you can see they're getting enough kills to re-roll their specialists as quick as possible. And that is exactly what is keeping the difference between the two. Having said that, there was a bit of a valiant effort being shown by NATO, getting back into the game, finding 30 scrap seconds there on the previous hill, and they are looking for a bit of a break through the front right now. 2 will fall for the side of Paradox. Potentially the break is in, contest is there, but the kills simply work on out for Paradox as these guys are an impenetrable wall. Break after break denied. And look, just 21 seconds left. We will see one more contest here, but rotation going back to P1. Things are looking pretty good for Paradox.
Pretty good there are for Paradox. Obviously, the hard points will now reset, moving back to the statue of P1. We do see a couple of different options selected by these players in terms of their weapon choices, being the official competitive rule set of the CARDEM World Championship. Players are limited to 2 SMGs, 2 assault rifles, and perhaps an LMG or a marksman rifle. So you won't be seeing public use streaks, guns, whatever the case might be. But right now, once again, Paradox in control. However, 2 players have been taken down by them. Phoenix with the, should I rather say 3 right now, with the War Machine, sending some grenades out, not managing to connect as he would like to do so. But NATO Gaming sort of have control of the P1, with Paradox players currently flooding into the hill.
Well, it was a little bit of a sigh of relief if you were a NATO Gaming fan, but only for a few seconds as it was rebroken off of the back of the equalizer. Still going now with the Tempest in hand as Logan. Players are falling left, right and central here for NATO. It looks like there is a glimmer of hope, but snuffed out almost immediately by Paradox as these guys are looking up on the map for these kills, punishing wherever they can. But it might come back to bite them with 15 seconds left. They're not fighting for those spawns, and we know how crucial that could be. Having said that, here comes a huge 1v1. It's going to go the way of Paradox. It's all up to number 4 around the back end. It's going to be Nandi, but he is alive, or Nark, excuse me, alive for now. Pops his death machine. This may be the playmaking play. Right now, still alive, gets his teammates. Reinforcements are in rotation, up in the air. 2v2 around the back. Now won by NATO, looking very good. They might be able to break into P2 here.
NATO finally control of P2. Obviously, the previous engagement, they weren't able to accumulate a lot of points. The death machine play there by Nox, should I rather say, he got a lot of kills, but right now, the equalizer in hand, manages to pick up 3 players, and he's still going. Someone stop the man, he's on a rampart.
He did exactly what he needed to, took the space, didn't push up too far, no flipping of the spawns in event right now, still holding strong, but the counter-attack from the death machine out of Nox right now, or excuse me, out of Paradox, gets the break, and they flip out the spawns for 25 seconds. That was a very valiant effort there, but this will put the side of Paradox over 200 points. And Logan with the simple 3-piece, line him up and knock him down. Rotation coming through, looking like they're already getting set up on the next hill. It's going to be a 2v2, important one, because right now this is getting very close to out of reach for NATO, unless they can get a break off the back.
They sure hopefully can. Trots with 100 points in the lead. Paradox has over NATO Gaming. P3 is about to spawn in. It looks like favor of this P3 is in hands of the team from Paradox. We do have a couple of operators from, it looks like NATO's side. The claw has been activated. The rain of death, the bullets, he manages to get one, but fortunately Danilo takes him out for his team. The marksman in hand. The man is an absolute laser holding down Blue House. No one from NATO Gaming can get in. He's just dominating the entire playing field. Streaks are accumulating. Predator and Hunter Killer at his disposal.
Well, here comes a potential break from the side of NATO, and it needed to come at, it couldn't have waited any longer, rather, as you get to see a few of these streaks now being popped, and that's going to be Simpsy with the equalizer, finding 3. He simply breaks the hill all by himself. Danilo is there to help him out, and right now, only 27 seconds needed for Paradox, and you can still see Simpsy running around, being a menace, getting the kills, and that's further streaks to compete for as we go over towards P4, 18 seconds. Goodness gracious me, NATO, they need to start playing some better card, otherwise they're going to be going down to 1 map pretty much instantly, well actually 2, seeing as though they want the map advantage.
Sure is, and just with a couple of seconds left on the scoreboard, Trout, it is all in favor of Paradox. Simpsy with that insane equalizer play, float like a butterfly, sting like a Simpsy. The man is on a rampant 35 kills, Danilo with 44. The boys from Paradox Gaming are completely outslaying their opponents.
Well, outslaying may be the count for now, but holding strong is actually going to be NATO. But they're relying very heavily on their specialists, so utility is what's keeping them in the game for now. But they're doing a fine job at that. They're keeping them as far away as possible. They do manage to find 100 points in the back pocket. But you can see this is where it starts to get a little bit stressful because NATO is on the back foot completely. Paradox only needs 5 seconds. So they can throw player after player after player at this point. And if they're feeling like they're not getting anywhere, they can go for the rotation as they have such a huge cushion of a lead. But having said that, the break is in. It's going to be Paradox, map number 1, going their way. Great start. Not really a surprising start, but there was some beautiful plays being shown by NATO. And it is obviously first game, so maybe they'll get into it. They just need to find their stride. But this man on your screen right now, Danilo, simply taking over him and Simsi, the man's making it happen. Men making it happen. There we go.
That sure was, Charts. We do see basically across the playing field, once we get to the statistics and the kill board, I think every player in Paradox brought their A game to this hardpoint game on Slums. A couple of the NATO gaming players, which we normally see really do well online, Charts, they did struggle a bit. I was obviously looking, as I mentioned, out to Nandi. He started off slow, managed to bring things a little bit back, but here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the scoreboard is up. Danilo with a 44 bomb. Well done to you, sir. Obviously another 30 bombs from his respective teammates. Toxic there with 29. And unfortunately, Nandi, the player that we were looking out for to make an impact for the team of NATO Gaming, obviously being brought in there, still getting his fingers warm, maybe needs to restart the engine. It is being cold in Cape Town. He has come from Pretoria, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what he does in this next game of Search and Destroy on Tunisia.
100%, and I mean, we are going to a completely different game mode where teamwork is absolutely the dream work, but there you go, you have a good look. 250 to 132, Paradox playing some fantastic fundamental Call of Duty Mobile, and you love to see that. Their rotations were good. When they didn't get their rotations, they managed to break within a couple of seconds, and on the hills where they were being held relatively well, they had created enough of a lead that they could early rotate and have a full setup for the next hill and then guarantee themselves even up to 60 seconds, whereas you could see that NATO was really fighting for scraps where they can. And unfortunately, in the slang department, they just were throwing lives at the hill. They were all single challing, not double challing. And I mean, lightning can strike twice in the same place, but it is quite unlikely. You can find 2, 3, maybe even 4 players, but that's one play in the game, and you can't expect to do it every single time. And as a result, the lead just continued to snowball. Paradox playing some fantastic Call of Duty, like I said. But put it all behind you if you're in the shoes of NATO. It is another game mode, S&D, where you only have one life and you got to make it count.
One life indeed, a lot slower gameplay, a lot more methodical in approaches, a lot more team strategy and homework goes into Search and Destroy. As we know, Trouts, you've got 5 lives on respective team. There is a bomb that needs to be planted or protected. Essentially, I know that the rounds don't swap per round. It's six, and then the next 6 goes to the following team. But wow, Trout, what a cracker of a first hardpoint game to get us started. I mean, you have to say everyone's fingers should potentially be warm now, but I'm just interested to see. We saw NATO Gaming obviously struggle on the respawn, the first respawn of the game that they played today. Perhaps Search and Destroy is their white line, 100%. The light at the end of the tunnel for them. They can obviously take a lot slower approach. Their sniper rifles, I know Liquids is apparently one of the greatest snipers in South Africa. Then again, I mean, you're going up the stacked roster of Paradox. I mean, every player on this team is just a tier 1 performing player, Trout.
100%, and we're loading right in now, and I like how you mentioned the snipers, because obviously if you can get that first pick, it really turns the tide in your favor. And that's what we're going to be looking for here. It is currently a 2 map count lead to the side of Paradox. Going over on attack, it is going to be the side of NATO. And if they can get that bomb down relatively quickly, that would be ideal. But of course, it is feeling out your opponents, getting as much information before you decide to go for a retake or potentially a single take. But I love the snipers, man. They are so key. Fresh haircuts, fresh fades available on the map here. And of course, the Tundra in hand. Next, looking to make it happen.
Next, with the Tundra in hand, he's looking for that absolute head decapitation from everyone that just pops out of their molehill. But we still see on the board now, all players are alive. Time is ticking. Bomb needs to be planted from the side of NATO. They've opted for a specific site. Trout, I don't know how descriptive we can be with the players on the stage. They could hear the casters' voices. Who's to know? But Danilo, also with the Tundra in his own hands, notices that tacticals and frag grenades have come into the B-bomb site, decides to try retreat, but gets taken out there by Nandi, finally prolifing himself to his Search and Destroy gameplay. We can be seen Logan walking around. Trout, has to be noticed, Dead Silence perk is not completely silent, so you'll see a lot of players walking around.
And of course, close range, it's going to be Toxic with the shotgun in hand. But bomb now down, pressure on Paradox for a change, 3v2. They have to go for this retake here, but it's going to be Next who takes out Toxic 1v3, or 1v2, excuse me. But Muji with that sniper in hand, we're going for the trick shot. It's 2012. He's going to be able to find the pistol kill. 1v1! In! You cannot give this man an inch. He'll take a mile. The 1v2, flashy as ever. Paradox with their backs up against the wall. The clutch is in. And the first round going their way.
Trout, that was absolutely amazing sniper gameplay there by Muji. He knew he was in a 1v2 situation. He Batmaned off that top platform, got the first pistol kill knowing that he was in a close call to combat, swapped over to the sniper and just immediately quick scope, deleting that player. Nundi putting the boys of Paradox for up into a 1-0 lead in the search and destroy on Tunisia.
Fantastic start there, and that's just a testament to the, ooh, sorry guys, my voice did a little funny thing there, the testament to the character of these players, and they are all tier 1. I mean, a 1v2 clutch like that with very few seconds left, but it's actually going to be Nark who draws the first blood. Nice peek through the mid-map, but he will be punished for it. That means B-Control now back in favor of NATO Gaming. They're looking to rinse and repeat here, but maybe not go and allow that clutch. But the bomb now down. It should be a pretty tough climb, but we're looking for a pre-wall bang. NATO actually not getting the bomb down. No, they have just got it down. A little bit of chaos there, but we have 100 rounds and potentially 100 kills on the bag here.
100 kills. We do see now PDX Toxic just jostling between this bottom yellow building, waiting for the rest of his team essentially to hop onto the site so they can all trade for one another. But we do see now Nilo taking out Nundi. In return, NATO has been able to take out 2 Paradox players, and just like that, NATO squares everything up, making it 1-1 on the scoreboard.
And that really does come down to a very solid setup. They took the space when they needed to. They got the bomb down. They had their angles covered. And it's sort of like a net, right? We're waiting to spring around your opponents. And then they just played around each other. And then they knew that they had the bomb down with that extra cushion of time. Fantastic stuff there from NATO. And we spoke about how important it is specifically on S&D to play your life. And they're doing a fine job at that.
It sure is. Well done to the boys from NATO right now. They are obviously still on the offense. They have bomb in hand. As we mentioned, it's 6 rounds, 5 to 6 rounds for them to play for that search and destroy bomb plant. A lot more calm approach, it seems. We do see a well-spread PDX in teams of covering each bomb site as well as that middle map with Muji. Muji gets taken out by Rai, another fantastic sniper I've witnessed and heard in the Call of Duty South African scene. Trout, but now Nato with a sneaky bomb through top wines. It looks like there's only player 3 for PDX that spots one out. He takes out Phoenix with amazing exit. Gameplay picks up 2. Rai, what are you doing, good sir? You should be able to trade. Simpsy Pro now spots out 1 person, Archers, and there are 2 Trouts right now on top of Wines, and we wonder when will they drop onto the A-bomb sites.
Well, they've got just under a minute to work with now, so the pressure beginning to mount for the side of NATO. They had the life count advantage, but of course, Simpsy evening it up and then taking the lead with that beautiful 2-piece. And you spoke about how important trades are. In a game like we only have 1 life, your life is worth its weight in gold. And right now, we have to see if we can find maybe a bit of a chink in the armor, but the setup looking great. But now, a bit of a panicked approach coming out from NATO. You can see they're shocked they weren't able to get their initial play, and this is where veteranship starts to play a very big part. You've got to be able to make these in-game decisions. Indecisiveness is the root to all problems in S&D, but eventually we get to see potentially a bit of a take. It's going to be an attack, but Simpsy finds one, Danilo finds the other. And at the end of the day, indecisiveness was the undoing for the side of NATO.
Indecisiveness, definitely the Achilles heel there for NATO. You could see Trout on the mini-map. They're just the players weren't aware for which bomb site to approach. In my personal opinion, that's when the IGL, the in-game lead, should come and step into play. Let him know maybe the gents are a little bit confused or nervous regarding the LAN environment, or just this big match temperament, it has to be said. He needs to lead his players to that success, but now NATO Gaming on that B bomb side again. So they are absolutely flooding it. Danilo and his teammates are now pushing back. Toxic, he's looking after his shoulder, sniper in hand. Toxic managed to take out Nundi with the shotgun, and Danilo just watching down this lane. So they're all pushing onto the B bomb site. Basically all players have flooded it. It's absolute pandemonium on this B bomb site, Trout.
Well, they have to stay alive for a little bit longer. It's down to a 1v3, but not going to happen. Liquids gets 1, but he is taken out. Aggression met with aggression. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly the mentality the side of NATO had going into that round, trying their very best to get the bomb down. They did exactly that, but they got there quickly, but the retake was just as quick. And that's exactly what you can see from the veteranship. I spoke about how important that is. You match the tempo, you could take the space, and it just flusters your opponent. And now 2 rounds of the lead is going to be Paradox.
2 rounds in lead, Paradox it is, and we also saw now prior to this Trout a lot of body shots happening. We love to see it.
Kobe.
Kobe being thrown. It does take out Toxic being doing his homework, but we do see now Rai on the return taking out Simpsy, leaving us now in a 4v4 situation. Once again, the players are set up. The homework has been done. The strategies have been ironed out. Whatever VODs, Logan with the wall bangs. I mean, I don't even know about these wall bangs. So clearly the boys have gone into extensive research because these are obviously high-profile areas that their opponents will be in. Once again, we tone things down. A lot of players deciding where to go. Bomb must still be planted from Nato. One would say perhaps that offense is a lot more difficult than defense when it comes to search and destroy. Obviously map dependent, play dependent, but we do see now Muji missing his sniper shot, just holding down these bottom archers.
Well, again, we speak about indecisiveness, and we're just over a minute to work with NATO. Still looking very flustered, not able to get the entry that they wanted. It is a 4v4, like you mentioned. But right now, there's a lot that needs to happen relatively quickly, but Danilo gets away with his life, and this is going to be close range. Nandi gets the kill. Now, that's B in control, but of course, Toxic with that shotgun in hand, he might make things a little bit messy here, but not watching that flank. Good setup now being happening for the side of NATO. They get the bomb down, side relief. Indecisiveness or maybe a big brain play. We'll have to just wait and see how that plays out. 4v3.
4v3, NATO, they have full control right now of this B bomb site. We have seen now on your bottom mini-map that PDX have decided to regroup together, but there is Nundi right behind him. Manages to pick up one, loaded with the quick reply. 2v2 situation. Bomb has been planted, 22 seconds left and counting. PDX, last left alive is Muji. He has clutched before. He manages to pick up the one on Liquids. Muji versus Rai. Sniper versus Sniper. Who's going to win this one? Nuji decided to push Rai. He sees him. He spots him out. Rai, he smelt blood. He smelt the blood, but Rai takes out Muji, allowing Paradox to lose that round. And Trout, Nato, obviously getting another round in search and destroy for their favor. Wow, I thought Mushi was going to take him out.
It came down to the skin of his teeth, to be honest there, but luckily it was Rai with the big brain play to play the clock as opposed to the kill. And that's exactly what paid dividends in the end. So right now, looking like they are winning, but just by a fraction, that being Paradox, but you can see space still trying to be taken. And remember, this is the last round of attack here for the side of NATO, but close range is going to be Toxic with the shotgun, and that's first blood now drawn.
First blood has been drawn. Blood is in the water at the moment in favor of Paradox. Time is ticking once again. NATO has to either plant this bomb or essentially take out all 5 remaining members of Paradox. Trout out, obviously opt for the bomb plant. Knowing that I'm going against these top-tier Paradox players, it's going to be a tough feat. But we do see now Rai with an unfortunate hit marker there on Muji, just underneath archers. The boys from NATO have decided to flood top wines. Muji with the wall bangs, trying to at least get a hit marker or any type of information, just to let his teammates know that there are players in top wines. There we go. NATO has made the play. They've decided to all up out. Muji with the massive body shot as well. Oh my gosh, if you happen to turn on knock. I mean, you're in real-time gameplay. Simpsy picking up 2. Last left alive is Vinix. He's shooting, missing absolute shots. Whirlwind over there on Simpsy. Oh my word.
That was a chaotic round towards the end, and again, you got to respect the confidence from the Paradox players. Mid-fight, got to get a little extra love tap in there. Have to respect it, but right now it is paying out for them, and we do eventually see the swap on attack now. It is going to be the side of Paradox, and now we get to see how they look to take a point, but you can see aggression straight out the gate. Little less indecisiveness, looking for that first blood as you do, sort of playing chess and hoping that your enemy is playing checkers.
Yeah, definitely chess it is. We do see now Paradox obviously on the attack. It seems like they have done a little bit of a split push. Great tactic there, obviously 2 focusing on B, while on the other end 2 on A, with 1 sniper holding down that middle lane, not allowing any sneaky flanks to come through there. But once again, Trout, a lot slower gameplay compared to that aggressive pushes we saw earlier on from NATO. Just trying to find that first pick, obviously get that first blood, always in your favor, that first blood, knowing that you've eliminated 1 player. If we look across the scoreboard right now, Trout, we do see now Simpsy leading the charge with 7 kills, and on the respective end, a couple of the gents from NATO are all tied up with 5 apiece. Rai opening up the kill feed on Muji.
But very much like NATO, they do look like they have lost a bit of a strut to their stride there as they lose first blood, and now they don't have control of a site, and they're trying their very best to make it happen. A lot of shots across the map, a lot of information being gained. Toxic does eventually find Nundi, 4v4, but 45 seconds, you can start to feel the pressure if you are Paradox, but they have managed to kick the door down at B, and that should be bomb going down uncontested.
Bomb We're going down. Liquids directly on top of two of the Paradox players, unaware of his positioning. He does see shots going down. Narc manages to take out Toxic, leaving them in a 4v2, 4v3, now 4v2. It is Logan and Simpsy, last left alive. We do see Logan take out Rai, but the player from Paradox has decided to run away. Liquids deciding to plant a bomb with only 20 seconds left. Drought, something has to happen. Simpsy, oh my word, and just like that, everyone from NATO Gaming fall down.
You can never count the side of Paradox out. It looks like their back is up against the wall, but they get another icy play and they clutch things up there in a 2v3 situation. Fantastic stuff. Simpsy, the man to make it happen. He's got the playbook written down on the inside of his eyelids right now. Every blink he's researching, rehearsing, and it's looking fantastic. But here comes aggression from the side of Paradox, but it's going to be Rai with two. Not a great start, but the shots are raining across the map. Everyone from the side of Paradox falling, and into the kill zone we go. Aggression met with death. Trying to change it up a little bit, and evidently that was not the correct one. 5-3 is the round count. Very, very much give and take now from both sides.
Give and take it is. We saw Paradox obviously change things up a little bit. Trout, they put on their running shoes. They were super aggressive onto that A-bomb site, but the sniper rifle of Rai met them with that pinpoint accuracy. And once again, this time round, they decided to opt out for their first approach when they started attacking on the Search and Destroy on Tunisia. Everyone's playing cool, calm, and collected. Everyone's just watching their lanes. Everyone's just watching the bomb sites that they have been doing all the necessary homework to do so. We do see now snipers just waiting for a flicker of a character's foot or head or arm so they can take that kill shot approach. But Trout, 1 minute 20 on the clock. There is still time in favor from Paradox.
Absolutely. They are absolutely taking space as best they can, but we are still looking for that first blood, as you tend to see here in S&D. Probing at that defense, finding that weakness is key. But maybe the call has come to get over towards A, as they think that they have made a bit of a... Oh, it's got to be a choke, but Danilo is there for another kill. But the trade instant. Toxic is there. Now, A, open for the plant. Having said that, Liquid does get a trade. And here comes Nandi. Doesn't check his corners. Captain Price would be so disappointed.
Nandi, you should have checked your corners there. That's a common mistake in professional Call of Duty. You always check your corners. And with that being said, obviously Paradox get another tick on the board, Trout. I think they're currently sitting on 6 round wins, only 1 round away from the alluring target of 7. Everything in favor right now from Paradox Gaming. We do see now nades being thrown onto that A-bomb site, but it looks like once again a little bit of a split from Paradox, and the players all in their respective positions waiting for their opponents.
100%. It is absolutely NATO's game to lose now, as this is the most crucial round in my opinion. They lose this one, obviously they're out, but they need to try to make it as close as possible.
Close as possible it is. Time is ticking. 1 minute 25 seconds in favor of NATO, obviously being the defending team. They can either eliminate the entire team on Paradox side or wait for the bomb to be planted. And tacticals, there's still some tacticals at play. Logan, shots fired there by bottom staircase, not able to collect with anyone. And Paradox has decided, it seems like it, to opt for the A bomb side approach. Clearly, B is too highly contested, but if they knew that the awareness, the social awareness and tactical awareness from NATO, credits to them, they're all spread out the map really well and evenly well.
Not giving an inch to the opposition at the moment is NATO, and they have found first blood. That was Rai with that sniper. So they are playing perfect S&D to the best of their ability. And right now, the clock is ticking, 30 seconds and counting. The pressure absolutely mounting for Paradox. And here comes the push. The trade is instant, 2-piece potential. Narc alive for now.
Narc still alive. It looks like still a 3v3 situation. He has been taken up by Logan. Logan on the A bomb site with that Tundra at hand. Manages to get a bomb down, knowing that there's only 17 seconds left on the clock. Pushing essentially the NATO players back into spawn. But there is Nandi coming through the middle. He's finally checked his corners, but will he be taken out? No. Simpsy, what happened there? 2v2 left in the situation. Liquids gets taken out there by Logan. And just like that, Paradox Gaming take the Search and Destroy on Tunisia, Trout.
2 quick rounds in a row there for the side of Paradox, and 2 quick maps. They are playing some fantastic Call of Duty, fundamentally doing a very good job, and they like to wait till the last minute to make it as entertaining as possible. We are obviously at LAN, a lot of nerves about, but they're doing a fine job of managing that. And it has been fantastic so far. Like I said, currently 3-0 to the side of Paradox, only one map away from closing it out.
One map indeed, Trouts, a control on takeoff. One of the newer maps introduced to the control segment, if I can circuit, should I call it that, but the body shots coming in, the absolute banter between the players. We heard from Danilo earlier during that play interview. We are all friends outside the game. But when it comes to this competition, we come down to business, Trouts. There's no friendships here. They know what they're playing for. That spot to represent South Africa on the road to Lagos, and probably the probability is quite high for that South African team to make it all the way to Card-M World Champs. We look at the scoreboard, Trouts. I mean, the numbers are there across the board. But if we're looking at Paradox Simply with the 11 bomb double digits, on the other side we have Knock there with a 10 bomb, unfortunately not meaning anything as they endured that loss.
And I think it just came down to map control in the end. And, well, maybe not just that. There was also some insane clutches from the side of Paradox at 1v2 to start us off. That really set the tone for the entire map, if we're being honest. And they've just been playing some perfect Call of Duty since then. And I am a fan of waiting till the last second, and they do it very well. But it could come back to bite them. But now all the pressure in the world on the shoulders of NATO, as if they want to stay in this competition, they've got to get that reverse sweep rolling. And that is like, man, that's a tough one to start off with. But of course, we are going to Control next, and in my opinion, it is my favorite game mode because it is a perfect hybrid between domination, hardpoint, and S&D. Obviously, there's a set number of lives, 2 points to capture, and then to determine whether you get defense on the final round, if you go to a round 5, whichever team has the most kills, if they are even in ticks, and there's 3 ticks per point. Not that complicated. It sounds like a lot, but it'll make it a lot of sense once we're in the map. But right now, I believe we are going to a quick intermission so everyone can catch their breath. But we will be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Go get yourself a drink. We'll be back just after this.
Like, how could we bring people together around a moment? And a defining moment for the continent, a defining moment for the game. Are you guys ready?
It definitely, plays with your emotions.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how many close calls happened.
Remember arriving again.
They could close this out and claim glory, African glory on Call of Duty Mobile.
I heard about Carry1st hosting this event, and I was like, nah, I have to take part.
Winning means everything to us. We're not just here to represent NXG, but our country, South Africa. And this is the biggest tournament this continent has ever seen, so winning does mean everything to us.
In Nigeria, they'll say no grief for anybody. So
That's Call of Duty for you, I guess, and that's calm.
Losing tournaments like this it can be very, very emotional. You have to have strong real force and everything just to know break down or anything, because if you start thinking about the hours put into it, the whole stress, everything just to come and lose is crazy.
we can't really see who's the best until we say at the final.
Our team is the stronger.
That draw kind of lost everyone. Vortex gun coming into play from life to clean house.
Personally, we feel like we have the best gun skills in the game, and our playstyle is, very unique.
We want to settle the jollof wars. Which jollof is better, Nigerian or the Ghanaians? Whoever wins gets the jollof bragging rights.
Being in Africa, we've always been on the outside looking in. Years go by, so much time, effort, and passion into this game, waiting and wondering, is this finally the year?
Prize pool of $1 million. Regions from all over the world will be competing to earn their payday and prove they're the best of the best. We're also very excited to announce that Africa will be joining the World Championship for the first time.
Africa is here and ready to compete on the global stage. The Carry1st Africa Cup is back, this time as the official African qualifier for the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship 2025. Get ready.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Carry1st African Cup Championship Qualifiers South African Finals at AGC. There we go, I got it all in one take.
That was an absolute mouthful, Charles. So well done for bringing us through that one.
I'm Charles. I tend to talk a lot, like I said, and this is Tiano, the living legend himself, who has been involved in the scene probably longer than I'd like to admit, but you had the potential of actually being involved on the stage side of this. But here we are standing and you get to see your friends and peers play. It's going to be so fantastic, and we have had such fantastic Call of Duty to start things off. I mean, currently 3-0, one potential game away from closing it out as Paradox. What do you think the likelihood of that is?
Chad, at the moment being 3-0 up, Paradox Gaming, I think the probability and the likelihood is very high in their favor, but you know, with Call of Duty Mobile and the way things work out, still waiting for the gents from NATO Gaming to rock up, things have a way of turning around sometimes. We do, as shoutcasters, love to see, and viewers there at home or in the crowd, we love to see a reverse sweep. We love to see those round 11s in Search and Destroy. Perhaps NATO Gaming just need to reset at the moment. They've decided to opt out with the team chat. Get the coach involved, maybe perhaps clear their mental, clear their mind, take a sip of water or Red Bull, whatever will keep them going, going into this control on Tunisia. The stakes are so high. Paradox Gaming know that they are only one map away from flying the South African flag high in Lagos. Trout, what an amazing feeling it must be knowing that you're going to represent your country at the grand stage of the Carry1st Africa Cup in Lagos.
And not only that, right, if they take the championship there, that secures a spot at the World Championships, which is the first time ever that we get to see the African scene represented in this way. So it is absolutely fantastic. A lot of pressure and a lot of commendation to go out because they made it this far, right? And we often talk about how South Africa are the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the spear even for COD Mobile on the continent. Of course, there is Nigeria that put up a fantastic fight, but it was the South Africans that took it last year in Kenya for at the cup finals, and that was the second team that made it through. So it's a lot of potential, a lot of competition. It is fantastic Call of Duty up for grabs here. And I was speaking to you beforehand, the passion that these guys bring, we're talking 5, even 6 hours of scrimming every single day. So the passion is there, and they're really willing to put in the hours, and it's showing. Paradox playing out of their skin at the moment.
Out of their skin, there are Trout. A couple of these players obviously missing out last year due to a disqualification, unfortunately. But I've spoken to some of them, and Trout, they are telling me that this is their revenge arc story. There's no mishap happening this year. They will be the South African team, being Paradox, obviously rebranded from a previous team's name, flying the South African flag high, putting in their time, doing their homework, swimming till the early hours of the morning, Trout, when we are comfortably tucked into our beds, sleeping all nice and snugly in this winter. The boys are out there grinding, and they are ready to take this championship home.
100% burning the midnight oil. And I like how you spoke about mentality there. That's also something to touch on, because I'm a firm believer that's half the battle. So if you're confident going into it, you're going to play confidently. If you're feeling a little bit doubtful about yourself, your gameplay is going to reflect that kind of mentality. And now, if you're on the shoes of NATO, obviously they are on the back foot, but they had their time, they had their team talk, maybe they've settled the nerves, and we get to see the greatest return of a team ever, which would be what we want, right? Everyone wants to see the Game 7. It's absolutely possible, not impossible. But having said that, on the flip side of the coin, this is absolutely the Thanos-style team, that being Paradox. I mean, even the rounds in S&D, it's like all of that for a drop of blood, not even really toppling them at this stage. But having said that, maybe Control is their Achilles heel, and this is where they can capitalize on it. And there is something that we haven't even touched on in Control, and that is the fact that the spawn traps in this game mode are devious. You can get put into such a blender, and then the game just runs away from you. And I imagine that's exactly what these two teams are going to be aiming for. And on the other side of things, guys, Carry1st, if you are a Call of Duty mobile enjoyer yourself and you'd love to have some of these fantastic skins, I mean, the skins in this game are out of this world. There is currently a 20% off on the Carry1st store, so go ahead and get yourself some God Point, get yourself some skins. And we even failed to mention what these teams are paying for in terms of a good old prize pool. There's the 20% off, everybody. Go ahead and get involved. The first prize at the LAN in Lagos is $15,000 US. Imagine how many chicken nuggets you could buy with that.
Plenty, Trout, you sure can, but what a prolific prize that is awaiting one of these teams from South Africa. Obviously, they have to go against the other 7 regions. I mean, that's just going to be an absolute gauntlet. We do see a $15,000 US exchange rate. I don't even know what it is at the moment, Trout, probably
a lot.
A
lot.
It's a lot of money, well into the 100,000s, and what an awesome opportunity. We just want to give a massive shout out to Carry1st and the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship for giving this opportunity to us Africans. Trout, we've heard on the videos prior to this, being in Africa, we've always been on the outside looking in, waiting and wondering when will be our year. And ladies and gentlemen, our year was about to get started right now in this Control of Tunisia, but it seems like there's a little bit of a reset. Perhaps some players.
Now they can, everyone get up, shake your hands, get the jitters out. That was just a test run.
Get
your thumbs
pulled up.
Oh, that's another thing, guys. If you're new to the Call of Duty scene, specifically COD M, these guys sit there and they look like spider monkeys over their phones playing with 4 or 5. I'm a controller player, so to comprehend how these guys play like that is insane to me. And it's just a testament to the skill and the level of player we have here. And everyone's ready to show off their brass going into this potential world championship spot. I mean, we really want to put Africa on the map. And this production brought to you by ACGL as well, and the venue, everything. It's just a testament as to what we have to offer here. It is absolutely on the cards that you no need to overlook Africa anymore. We're here, and we are here to make an impression. And if the caliber of player isn't enough, I mean, look at the production, look at the prize pool. I mean, we've got a crowd sitting here on a Sunday evening. What more could you ask for?
Sunday evening indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the arena, please make your way, if you are over 18, to the Call of Duty mobile station. We have got the grand finals happening. If you're not perhaps at Grand West Casino, make your way to the stream, share it far and wide, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, even to your family WhatsApp group, Trout. Just get everyone into the scene, into the stream. And ladies and gentlemen, we see the last of the tournament schedule happening here. South Africa obviously concluding today. We still have Kenya, the wildcard countries, and last year's host, Nigeria, still coming up. Make sure you manage to sign up and do not miss those deadlines. Cup.carry1st.com, always carry first.
They have a fantastic behind-the-scenes working. Tournament runs like a breeze, so it hasn't been easier for teams to get involved. So I highly suggest you guys do it. It is free entry. That's also a big thing, guys. Free entry. Get involved. Get your team on if you are in those regions, whether it's Kenya, whether it's Nigeria, and a wildcard. If you're wondering what the wildcard is, that is any players from a country outside of the listed regions. There is still the opportunity for you guys to get involved, which means there is lots of Call of Duty to come. And man, oh man, we're going to be rounding things off potentially at takeoff. And will we see the takeoff of NATO? Because that's what they need.
NATO potentially taking off from Cape Town, but Trout on board now. As you mentioned before, a respawn, search and destroy type of game mode. Players only have 30 lives to work with, or in the other regard, to capture those 2 points being A and B. And we do see now NATO in favor of lives at the moment, managing to slay out some of the players from Paradox Gaming.
They have a very good start here, and they are looking for a bit of a spawn trap potentially, but that's going to be 3 players that'll fall from the side of NATO. That's going to be open up on A, and now the reverse spawn trap potentially getting set up, but the kills actually going over here for the side of NATO. Toxic! This is what we were talking about. These guys are ready and willing to play right now. That team talk made the difference. They have the life count advantage. Oh, they did for a second.
They did.
But they have 1 tick.
Yep. And at the moment, Trout, we just see on the kill feed, it is Paradox players absolutely raining down a sea of yellow with 22 lives to their advantage. Only 13 left from NATO. Hunter Killer does get activated from Muji, does not pick up a player. He is in a sticky situation here, stuck between a rock and a hard place, but manages to pick up 2 players. 10 lives left for NATO. Trout, they really have to do something now to get themselves back into this game.
And you can see the spawn trap, right? The attacking spawn trap is not something you see very often, but NATO in the absolute blender right now, but eventually Nandi makes it happen. He gets 2, breathes a sigh of relief, but it's a 5v17, stuck between a rock and a mountain, not let alone a hard place, is NATO right now. Only 2 ticks needed left on B. Man, oh man, do they have a mountain to climb.
They sure do. 4v14. Sounds like we are about to enter into Mount Everest, but NATO players managing to pick up some of the PDX players, leaving with only 12 lives left. Obviously, streaks and operator skills are being equipped at the moment, not being utilized, because there are potentially still another 2 rounds after this. Right, an absolute menace in the spawn of PDX 2 versus 9. Credit where it's due to NATO. They obviously did bring themselves back into this game, but it looks like Rai on the flank. Drought 1v7 for Liquids. Will he be able to do it?
Man, that'll be the single best Call of Duty player I've ever seen. The answer is no, he will not be able to do it. But they showed life towards the end. If they have a bit of consistency in their gameplay, this is a team that can take it all the way. But right now, the spawn trap just too deadly from the side of Paradox, and they didn't have enough lives in the back pocket, that being NATO. And obviously, it's going to be flipped on its head as they're going to be on attack now, as they try to get A and B, and the side of Paradox looking to keep them in their own spawn. And you get to see the start with the War Machine, but it's going to be Nandi who started out, but Danilo and Toxic finding the kills, and that's going to be a clean wipe and a good reset. But on B, looking like there might be a bit of a take here, but Danilo is there to find even more kills. Good start for the side of Paradox, but not terrible for the side of NATO.
Sure is. We do see now Muji activating that Predator missile, managing to pick up Benix. Just kills obviously going side by side between the 2 teams. Rai with his own Predator missile activated, but unable to get a kill. Nandi does have a spare at hand. Surely he should be able to utilize it now so he could potentially reset it, but he doesn't need the operator advantage. He's an absolute slaying machine with that SMG. And we also, as well on the alternative, Logan has the Tempest. Trout, one of my favorite operator skills to be used. Very rare we see the usage because you have to be so accurate with it, but you do leave that little bomb of lightning. It has to be set. Benix with the War Machine picks up 1, takes up the trophy system as well. Just a couple of shots there while being stunned, but once again we see in the kill feed it is all Paradox Gaming.
And there's that Tempest that you were talking about, but it's going to be a good old area of attack right now. Pushing into the spawn, looking for a few more of these kills is going to be Logan, and we talk about how important your utility usage is, and right now they pop all of their specialists, including the kitchen sink, which is a new one that you haven't seen before, that we're going to be missing, and that's going to be taken out, and maybe a sigh of relief, but still being played in terms of lives is NATO. They just are unable to find their footing when they need it.
When they need it, we saw 2 operators activated from the side of PDX, obviously squandered, but it doesn't matter because there are 13 lives ahead of the 5 from NATO. Toxic and on an absolute rampage, he picks up 2. Someone stop this, man. He's on a rampant. He's absolutely phenomenal. Trout, just like that, the 5-finger gyro monster solidified himself on the map as a demon.
And that's 2 very quick and definitive rounds for the side of Paradox. These guys are here to clean up business. They're here, it's Sunday, they're locked in, and Championship Sunday, you tend to see a hard-fought battle, and right now, these guys are in their stride. Paradox, absolutely the team to beat, but we get to see our first sniper. Next gets the first blood, but the trade, instant. And onto the side we go, no more shots. It's going to be Narc who gets or takes out Toxic. But there's still a trade on trade on trade, and now the spawn trap potential coming out from the side of NATO, but the trade's almost instant.
Oh. Knock, well done there, Death Machine. If you spray, you pray, my friend. We do see now the operator has been activated. He's got 100 bullets to go through, just spraying, but not hitting anyone. Whirlwind right there in terms of all the bullets not connecting. And Simpsy with the Annihilator, essentially a one-shot pistol. Would love to see some more gameplay from that, but not a right with the equalizer. Trying to find a flank, being taken out by Logan. Well done, obviously eliminating that player. Trout, we do see now for the first time, Nata finally man advantage on the scoreboard with the lives ticking down from Paradox.
And they have got a good amount of map control as well, but Toxic finding another 2-piece. Call him the 2-piece Chicken McNugget right now, as he is getting everything for his team. Make it another. He got 3 before being taken down. 17v13. NATO definitely coming alive here, but they need to stay alive for as long as possible. But the trades may just work out in their favor. But Danilo with another 2-piece. For every 1, it feels like there's 3 when it counts for the side of Paradox.
Paradox, a force to be reckoned with. Toxic channeling his inner Legolas. Does not manage yet to connect with any players, just obviously opting for the lanes, perhaps thinking that players will come through that direction. But we do have Danilo on the other side, that marksman, that insane player. Phoenix opting to use a Tundra on a respawn game mode. Not really sure if he's thrown in the towel, but he's trying to pick up some kills. 8 versus 7, make it 6, make it 5. Nata Gaming essentially might be able to bring this back. They do need to drop, but there's only 10 seconds left on the clock.
And they do have to get onto a site to pause it, but they do exactly that. That's going to be Toxic. He's going to be able to get onto A if he has anything in between his ears, but he doesn't need to. Everyone from the side of NATO alive for now, but Danilo, 2v4. This is going to be a clutch potential right now. They're on the site. They've got it stopped at 1 second. The stack comes in. They may be able to increase the time. And if there was ever a set of players to do it, it's Simpsy and Danilo, but now it's a 1v4. And that is going to be A taken out. Simpsy's still alive. He's going to keep the dream going. But he gets taken out. And finally, NATO with their first round. But by the skin of their teeth, fantastic stuff. Still in this game. And this will be the true reverse sweep if they bring it back all the way.
It sure will be. Trout, we saw Simpsy left in a 1v3 situation. We know he has the capability and potential to do so, but the gens from NATO were just well adverse in terms of their situation over the map. We now have Paradox again pushing through that bottom auditorium section. Players dropping left, right and center, as well as equally on the points. Danilo's War Machine, he's been so clinical with the usage of it earlier, struggling to find some players. A call out by Simpsy should let him know that there are players right now in the auditorium where you could potentially find some more kills. Hunter Killer from Raya obviously connecting with Danilo, taking out that War Machine. Massive plays.
Good denial of utility there, but having said that, it feels like a lot of nothing going on right now at on the map. They are all running past each other. Nandi looking for a couple of spawn kills himself. He does have the Sparrow in the back pocket. The kills eventually working out now for the side of NATO. Having said that, it's a 24v20, but no site to be taken as of right now. They need to get onto the point, and they need to get on the point right now to stop that clock. 35 seconds to work with. The pressure absolutely mounting here as the kills continue to roll for Paradox.
Phoenix, unfortunately not being able to utilize that War Machine to its maximum potential. You got to feel for the gent, but we do have Liquids and Nandi. Nandi's still hanging onto that Sparrow. Trout, it has to be said, when you need to use those operators, it might be able to just open up that opportunity for you to progress up the map. Muji, Death Machine from Hull, managing to take out 2 players. He's still on a ramp, but he's walking obviously with the Gung-Ho perk attached, which allows you to run around with the Death Machine or any other weapon of your choice with a hip fire. Flanks the opponent, picks up his third with the Death Machine, still has bullets left in the tank. Muji is on an absolute rampage, and Trout, just like that.
Man, they came to prove a point, and a point they proved. It was a 4-0 in the grand finals here. Paradox, the guys to beat in every way, shape and form. Huge GGs to them. They had a fantastic run. There was a bit of life being shown by the boys over at NATO. But, oh, we see the 4-0. We see it. But that's okay for the side of NATO. You made it all the way to Championship Sunday. Nothing to be scoffed at. Fantastic plays. Either way, which. But again, Paradox, the team to beat. Proven time and time again.
Right, we see the players there from Paradox, obviously so excited. They've just solidified themselves as the South African champions of the Carry1st Africa Cup, South African qualifier essentially. We can see on the player cams, they are all throwing up the 4-0 map count victory, dominated that of NATO Gaming. Valiant effort from NATO Gaming. They've
100%.
made themselves all the way to the grand final. It has to be noted. Commendation to them, GG's to them, but your champions today, Kraut, is Paradox Gaming.
And
wow, I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, champions in every way. S&D, hard point, clinical rotations, good setups, able to do the retakes when they need to. Fantastic stuff for the side of Paradox there. Cannot take it away from them in the slightest. But remember, guys, this is just the qualifier. They have even bigger titans to fight as they make their way over to Lagos, which is where they're going to be closing it out at the end of August, where they battle it for that first place prize and a seat at the table for the COD Championships in the world. And we have Mr. Nick, the man, the myth, the legend himself, handing us. This looks like a passport if I've ever seen one.
I think it's a passport for me and you, Trout.
Whoa!
Let's get our finger sleeves and our passports book there. This wonderful check for their flights.
Look at that. If you look here, it says Lagos. That means they've secured their spot, everybody.
Yay!
Let's give the side of Paradox a huge round of applause as they are the champions today. Championship Sunday, crowned Kings Paradox. Right, we're going to hand over to Mr. Nick Holden himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the giraffe cosplayer in his spare time, to hand over the check to the side of Paradox as they are our champions. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
They are our champions here in South Africa.
It's going to be a journey. All of them are